Brothers and sisters, I'm very happy and honored to be in this august presence of Manju ji, Sundaram ji, and Govind ji, and all the rest, who are absolutely people who are working for the Theosophical Society without any break. They have been doing tremendous service. Look at Sundaram ji and Manju ji. In fact, I remember the Kabir bhajan she sang and the lecture about Kabir she gave and so many things. And the time we spent looking at the photographs of Radhaji and so much of information she gave. In fact, I am very, very thrilled and waiting to hear what she is going to say about Dr. Radhaji. She got her doctorate from Nagarjuna University, so I'm calling her Dr. Radhaji. And she's very close. She's very close to her heart. And I never called her auntie, I called her always madam. There were some people who were very close to her maybe. They used to call her auntie. And she would respond to any addressing. Madam, auntie, sister. Radha. Yes, great lady. And now I hand it over to Manju ji for her.
Yeah, you can just that off.
Oh, this is all. Please go. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Brother Pradeep Bhai Gohil, President of the Indian section of the Theosophical Society. Now, am I audible to you all? Brother Pradeep Bhai Gohil, President of the Indian section of the Theosophical Society. Brother N.C. Krishna, who directed the study on Radhaji's book, The Human Regeneration. Brother Pradeep Mahapatra, the camp officer, who unfortunately is not here, is not well at all. And all my very dear friends who have assembled here this afternoon. This day, the 31st of October, happens to be the Punya Tithi of Radhaji, the day she passed to peace. And I am extremely thankful indeed that I have been given this opportunity to speak about Radhaji, to share my thoughts, my feelings, some of the very moving incidents to share with you all this afternoon. People say that both Sundaram ji and I have been quite close to Radhaji. It is so, but shall I put it the other way round? Radhaji had known us since both of us were kids. And here I would like to share with you an interesting incident which will tell you since when respected Radhaji had been knowing me. It was sometime in mid-1990s. I don't remember the exact year, but that year, the then Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Venkatachalaya, was invited to deliver the Besant Memorial Lecture. I was asked to sing at 7:30 the same evening during the cultural program. I began with a few classical compositions and then sang a few bhajans, devotional songs of Kabir, Tulsidas, Mirabai, Brahmananda, etc. Before I started, I gave a gist of every bhajan in English so that the audience, the people, may understand the content better. I concluded with a beautiful bhajan by Surdas. The first line was, Udho Karaman ki gati nyari. Udho is Uddhava, Karaman ki gati nyari. I translated the first line as, Udho, strange are the ways and designs of destiny. Strange are the ways and designs of destiny. After I concluded, Radhaji got up and came to the stage to thank. And she began thus, strange indeed are the designs of destiny. I had said, strange are the ways and designs of destiny. She picked up the thread from there and she said, strange indeed are the designs of destiny. Just imagine the chubby baby whom one found difficult to hold in one's arms is now a full-fledged artist, a known musician. So you can very well understand since when she had known me. She had been seeing me, observing me grow. But let me also tell you that it is by no means an easy task to reminisce about somebody who has seen, keenly observed one grow from childhood till the age of, say, 68 or 69. Yet, the invitation, the very thought of sharing one's reminiscences of the wonderful, fruitful moments and days spent with none other than Radhaji strikes a chord within, filling instantly the depths of one's being with profound resonances of reverence, gratitude, and inexplicable joy. Stepping out of the waters, standing on the banks of the stream of one's own life, gazing at it, observing it in a state of Sakshi Bhava, as it were, is in itself an experience so beautiful, enriching, and fulfilling. Thus, breaking away all the barriers of time, space, and age, out of some inner compulsion, the mind's kaleidoscope starts weaving vivid and vibrant pictures of the days of yore, and one breathes and lives the days all anew, all afresh. Seeing her either standing near the entrance of the Adyar theatre or sitting quietly all by herself in one of the cane chairs, watching, observing people coming and going, was certainly an experience in itself. One suddenly became alert, conscious of oneself, as also conscious of her silent gaze, yet far-reaching gaze. And in that seeing was perhaps a wordless communication and spontaneous communion with one and all. Her presence, though strong and vibrant, was never imposed, but was deeply felt by people around. As for me, as an individual, the words grace, dignity, poise, uprightness, restraint suddenly became alive, living, breathing, expressing and conveying their profound meanings and vast connotations through such an individual. I remember long ago, a devotee of Ma Anandamayi said about her. She was originally from Austria, Miss Blanca Schlam. She was a renowned pianist. Pradeep Bhai must be knowing her. She had come for Krishnaji, and for many, many years she was at Rajghat. She taught us dancing, poetry, and she had brought her grand piano also with her all the way from Vienna. But later on, she became a sannyasini, and her name was Atmanand, and she joined Anandamayi Ma's ashram. And her autobiography, her diary, it has been published, entitled Death Must Die. Death must die. In that, she says about Anandamayi Ma, and in Radhaji's context I am saying this, she does not give me, meaning Anandamayi Ma, she does not give me inspiration on a platter, but lets me labor for every word so that I may become its meaning. She does not give me inspiration on a platter, but lets me labor for every word so that I may become its meaning, living and being the meaning. How profound a statement. Never even once did one think of emulating her, yet one could well understand or realize as to how much there was to learn from individuals such as respected Radhaji. Hearing her speak at a theosophical gathering or address a different audience on various occasions was certainly a tremendously valuable learning experience in many dimensions and ways. From deeply spiritual and philosophical subjects to global socio-political ones, contemporary world issues with their innumerable burning, raging human problems. Whichever subject she spoke on, she spoke with intense concern from the depths of her wisdom and perception. With clarity of perception as well as clarity in expression. Truly speaking, it is the clarity of perception that manifests itself unawares in facility and clarity of expression. The way she broached a subject, elaborating, elucidating gradually, and coming to the core of it, was undoubtedly something one could not avoid noticing. Without thrusting her ideas upon people, she came to the significant central point spontaneously and effortlessly. Pondering on this, one strongly feels that this spontaneity and effortlessness could not be possible without years and years of self-preparation, putting in years of ceaseless effort, thus prepare oneself towards understanding life in its wholeness, to attune oneself to truth and significance of life in its vastness, in its limitless expanse. In Radhaji's own words, thus, self-preparation is an important aspect of theosophical work. It is important because when a person comes to the threshold of truth perception, everything in his life changes, and he also has the power to influence changes around himself. As for oneself, as a serious, keen listener and reader, it was a constant process of learning, imbibing, and most importantly, reflecting, contemplating on whatever one received or perceived. These intense learning moments still energize one, enriching one's whole being. For Radhaji, it was the effort that mattered. Sincere, wholehearted effort that was of importance, and not so much the result in terms of success or failure. In success, one perhaps may, to an extent, gain in confidence, whereas in failure, one learns so much. One may celebrate success for a while, whereas failures teach one lessons for a lifetime. One still remembers the day so very vividly. I come to my personal experience. We were in Adyar to attend the international convention. We were about to leave the Bhojanshala after having lunch when the lady in charge of the Bhojanshala came to me and said that the president, Radhaji, was on the line and wanted to talk to me. I went to the office and received the call. Radhaji said, Manju, I want you to take up the devotional meeting during the convention this year. This was quite unexpected and took me by surprise, naturally. After a few seconds of silence, I hesitantly asked her as to what I was expected to do, how to proceed and conduct the devotional meeting, etc. Very calmly and very affectionately she said, Manju, you have full 1 hour with you. You may proceed the way you want to. You can chant, you can sing, you can recite poetry, you can read out from books, you can speak, and then the one last sentence, she said, anything that inspires devotion. Anything that inspires devotion. This apparently simple sentence, nay, every word, every syllable of it still rings in my ears, striking instantly a chord deep within. One could well understand that she would not be uttering these two significant words unless they enshrined in them some great truths with their manifold facets and hues. And then, while reading her book, Human Regeneration, one came across these statements. Pure devotion is a force. Pure devotion is a force, and it must evoke something. It must evoke something. As also, devotion is not sitting in front of an image, physical or mental, offering prayers, requesting blessings, saying, I am yours. Devotion lets go of the I totally. It does not ask for anything. To the devotee, whatever the Supreme wills is good. Everything in manifestation is good because everything is part of the one reality. Self-surrender means the idea of the separate self must be completely given up. Then there is the realization of something more infinitely wonderful. And then inspiration. It is perhaps that which reaches, touches the deep recesses of one's being, that which melts one, humbles one. It is the state of complete surrender in which great things happen. a very sensitive and deeply spiritual poetess of Mithila, Bihar, Vidyavati Kokil, has written a beautiful poem, in fact a song. She says, मेरा ज्ञान भजन बन जाता, मेरा ज्ञान भजन बन जाता, सब कुछ आता सब कुछ जाता, नहीं हृदय में कुछ टिक पाता, अहम विसर्जित करते करते मेरा मन दर्पण हो जाता. May my intellect, my knowledge melt into a melody of devotion. May there be total immersion of the ego with one's being just transforming into a blemishless mirror. Reflecting upon this, one could and did realize what the word devotion enshrined in itself, a state of being when there is complete surrender, unconditional surrender, when there is complete immersion of one's ego, when one is humbled. Are these not the moments of learning? Moments ever new, ever fresh and everlasting? Learning the lessons of life and cherishing these moments in one's heart of hearts. There is an amazingly beautiful quote of the world-renowned astronomer Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan. He says, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Carl Sagan, the world-renowned astronomer, says, perhaps in his book Cosmos, he says, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. When one reflects on this, something stirs deep within oneself. I'm sure most of us at some point of time, in some fleeting moments, must have felt or experienced that significant things do not always happen on physical plane only. Events, incidents, happenings that are visible, audible, and perceptible at physical level only. There certainly are great possibilities of receiving quite unexpectedly messages, help, hints, inspirations, orders, even warnings through sources and channels unknown to us, or unknowable, agyeya too for that matter. One watched Radhaji for years together during international conventions, during study camps at different places, while traveling to distant places quite frequently, following hectic schedules from morning till late in the evening, chairing one or more sessions, speaking on different topics on the same day, conducting study untiringly for 3-4 consecutive days, meeting people, giving interviews, and also attending the cultural programs and enjoying them, in addition to her multiple tasks as the international president of the TS. Seeing this, one really wondered where she got so much energy from, the inner strength, the stamina, and the strong will from. I waited patiently for an opportune moment to talk to her, and I surely was blessed with that one evening. I may tell you that both of us, Sundaramji and I, were never afraid of her. We were full of restraint But we were never afraid. We were free to ask her anything, put questions to her. After having dinner, Radhaji would keep sitting there with us for quite a while and would talk to us, sharing anecdotes, incidents, reminiscences with us in a relaxed mood. One particular evening after dinner, not being able to resist, I ventured to take some liberty, of course with great restraint, and said to her, "Mommy," we used to address her as Mommy, "Mommy, I have been thinking and wondering about something since long, and now I have something to say to you." She looked at me with a little surprised expression and asked, "Yes, Manju?" I said, "It is not a question, Mommy. It is just my observation." With raised eyebrows, she waited, and then I said, "I have a very strong feeling, Mommy, that you are not getting the energy, the strength, and the power of will through the anna jal of this physical world. There is certainly, undoubtedly, a force, a source, or a fountainhead of great energy somewhere, much beyond our limited vision and perception, which is at work all the time. There certainly is the descent of great energy that keeps you the way you are." This was perhaps quite an unexpected outburst from me, but I just could not help it. She was silent, absolutely silent for a few seconds. One then suddenly became aware of her pensive expression, a faint smile, and a faraway look in her eyes. Yet, one could clearly see and feel that in that faraway look was her response, her answer in the affirmative. She then said, "We wait to see great wonders, big miracles happening, but we fail to see that miracles are happening unceasingly in our lives every moment. Happenings which cannot be proven through logic, reasoning, seeking evidence, and so on, as Carl Sagan said. These are subtle and sacred things. It is we who have to be sensitive, receptive, and have to ready ourselves so as to receive them, to allow great things to happen as they ought to, if we would just let life live itself, unhindered, with no interference. We would see extraordinary things happening." So saying, she slowly got up and retired to her rooms. One remained sitting there, and one suddenly was aware of a vast opening beyond horizons. Very similar to this incident, I would like to share with you another one, of course not related with Radhaji's this thing, but something that happened in this very hall, Annie Besant Hall, which strengthens this, what Radhaji said. It was some 20 odd years ago, 20 years ago or so. All Philosophers' Day was being observed by Vasanta Kanya Mahavidyalaya, the degree section. The students had gathered here, the hall was packed. 2 scholars, professors from Banaras Hindu University were invited to deliver lectures, and a yoga guru, yoga teacher, a demonstrator from Malaviya Anushilan Kendra was also requested to come and demonstrate some basic yogic asanas here on this. The hall was packed. The two professors, scholars spoke, and after their lectures, he was requested, the yoga teacher, the demonstrator was expected, as he was instructed, to do the asanas here on the stage. And he was told that आप सीधे सादे साधारण से आसन करिएगा 15 मिनट 10-15 मिनट. He started 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. He continued and continued, and one after the other, very, very difficult asanas, he went on doing. And we were sitting there, the hall, the girls, the students, the invitees, all of us, spellbound, with disbelief in our eyes, what is happening? And then after 45 odd minutes, he stopped, perhaps reluctantly. Then we dispersed slowly. In the evening, he went to that person, that professor, who had requested him to come here and demonstrate. He said, the professor asked him, "Kaisa raha?" And the yoga demonstrator said, "ये आपने मुझे कहाँ भेज दिया था? ये मुझे कहाँ भेजा आपने?" He said, "क्यों, क्या हुआ?" बोले, "पहले बताइए वो कहाँ भेजा आपने, वो क्या स्थान है?" बोले, "हुआ क्या?" कहने लगा, "आपने कहा था कि 15 मिनट तक सिंपल से जो शुरू के आसन है वो करना। मैंने आरंभ किया और फिर मैं रहा ही नहीं, पता नहीं कहाँ से कौन सी शक्ति आई और वो मुझसे करवाती गई और मैं करता गया, वो होता गया, एक से एक मुश्किल आसन जो मैं भी बड़ी मुश्किल से करता था वो होता गया। वो क्या स्थान है, वो क्या जगह है?" तो उन्होंने कहा, वो स्थान की महत्ता है, वो बड़ा जागृत स्थान है। चलो, हो गया ना। Then after a few years he was again here in the college and he remembered this incident, that yoga guru, and told the girls that this happened some years ago here. So I could not resist, so I narrated this, shared this with you. As we all know, Radhaji was a renowned dancer, exponent of Bharatanatyam, and she also worked in the film The River, directed by the world-renowned director Jean Renoir. But Radhaji gave up dancing. Although Radhaji gave up performing on stage quite early in life, the dancer in her, the sensitive, creative artist in her was very much alive, somewhere deep within always. While in Banaras, during the period that she was giving dance performances, she would come to Sundaramji's mother and would ask her to select Tamil songs for her dance numbers, as Sundaramji's mother herself was a very good singer. My father also had set to tune many devotional songs, Ashtapadis of poet Jayadev and other songs, and sang for her dance items. Srimati Sridevi Mehtaji, Sridevi Masi, too used to sing for her dance numbers. As I mentioned before, in spite of the fact that she had given up dancing decades ago, the music was still very much there in her heart of hearts. And she remembered many of the songs in her repertoire till the last few years of her life. She usually would be in a very relaxed mood in the evenings while having tea and snacks. She would talk in a lighter vein on various topics. Then she would invariably just come to music. She would try to remember the songs. She would ask me whether I knew this song or that song. Did my father teach me those songs? She then would hum the first few lines, mind you. She then would hum the first few lines and ask me whether I knew that particular song or not. There is one beautiful song composed by Bindadin Maharaj, who was in the courts of the Nawab of Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah, and was a great exponent of Kathak dance, and also a great singer, composer, and above all, a devout Krishna Bhakta. He was the grand uncle of the legendary late Pandit Birju Maharaj. This particular song that I am talking about depicts Lord Krishna and his celestial dance along with Radha and the gopis on the banks of the river Yamuna, and to the accompaniment of Brahma on Shankar, Narada on his veena, and Lord Shiva himself playing his damaru, and so on. It has 5 stanzas. The first one is Niratata Dhanga. Nrityata, he is dancing, the Lord dances in various mudras, postures. Bahe pavana manda sugandha sheetala bansi vata tata nikata yamuna vrindavan ki kunja galina me radhe gopi umanga niratata dhanga. Brahmadi shankha bajave sharada beena narada sura ucharata Shringi Shambhu Bajave Damaru Bhala Shashishira Ganga Niratata Dhanga. The last one that I want to come to. The poet, the composer, the singer, the dancer, but above all the Krishna Bhakta. He says, Tumanatha, he addresses his Lord, Tumanatha bin mohe ko ubaro. Who will rescue me? तुम नाथ बिन मोहे को उबारो कौन ऐसे जो विपद टारे बिंदा दिन पे कृपा करो प्रभु व्यापे दुख नहीं अंग निरतत ढंग. He says, who other than you, my Lord, can deliver me from strife and sin, pain and anguish? Only you can relieve me from my suffering. Have mercy on me, my Lord. May this body be healthy. Just imagine. Vyape dukha nahi anga. May this body of mine be healthy, may remain healthy, so that I, through my dance, may surrender myself to you. Radhaji just softly sang the first line and then asked me with a childlike glow of hope in her eyes and an expectant smile, Manju, do you know this one? Yes, Mommy, I do. Do you remember the last stanza? She asked.
Strong memory.
Do you remember the last stanza? Yes, I said again. Will you sing it for me, Manju? Yes, of course, Mommy. I said and sang it. Just a couple of seconds pause and she said, will you sing this once again, Manju? Will you sing this again? I did. A few seconds pause. Then एक दीन भाव होता है चेहरे पर भक्त का. Manju, just once more. Third time. With glistening eyes, she says, Manju, just once. And I sang it for the third time. I felt a choking in my throat, but I did sing. I tried to sing. I did. She did not utter a word after that. With glistening eyes, she just smiled. And that smile and silence had all the grace and blessings showering on one. How can one forget those living, vibrant moments? It is in these living moments, the moments of eternity perhaps, that the outpouring of His blessings, His mercy and grace showers on one and all, without asking, without one's invitation. And as for Radhaji, it was perhaps this way, it was her way to surrender to the Supreme through this song, being in complete empathy with the composer, with the song, and above all, with music total, the music, the melody of the universe. How can one forget this? Huh? Radhaji, not the intellectual, Radhaji, not the president, international president of the Theosophical Society. Radhaji, not the scholar, but Radhaji, a simple bhakta, who is not vibhakta, who is not fragmented. Not only does one learn through spoken words, lectures, discourses, etc., given by the elder ones like Radhaji, one learns through their powerful presence, through their silence, which at times speaks much more eloquently and effectively than words spoken. One also learns by taking hints through their restraint in behavior, even from the depth of expression that conveys so much. What is needed on one's own part is the readiness, the keenness and receptiveness to see, to hear and to understand. One then, in such blissful moments, hears the sound unstruck, the note unsung, and sees the beauty behind the veils in all its celestial splendor. With these words, on behalf of all of us present here, I offer very, very humble, very respectful homage and tribute to Radhaji. All our gratitude, thankfulness for all that she did for us, directly or indirectly, helping us, guiding us, inspiring us, motivating us. Thank you.
Maybe because I was listening to Manju for a long time. Maybe because this lovely any person Paul and the inspiration from Dr. Best herself. Or maybe because of the old statue and fondness of Radhaji. But when she spoke of Radhaji, the way the flow went, we could get on and the speech was flawless. The words were very nicely put together. and lowering of the voice, both so very sad, it really made us feel very good. The good part of it was that Radhaji was our favorite person, is our favorite person, and she spoke so well. The two things got together, and that's why we are all feeling so happy after this program. Manju, thank you very much for taking all the effort to put this together. It's a lovely piece, and I request Sundaram to put this lecture in one of the future Indian theatre service. It is something that people would love to refer. I'm sure you all do. Yes. I will now request Sundaram to please come up for the release of the Passion of Radhaji.
बुक रिलीज करने के लिए कह रहे हैं वो स्पेशल नंबर रिलीज करना
उसको रिलीज कर
आपसे कह रहे हैं
हम कर
हाँ कर आ जा
we both will
तीनों करो हाँ, तीनों हम उधर चले जाते हैं
Just a few words, sir, before the release. Just a few words.
not after this.
That's right.
But I can't say anything.
You must do it. Aja.
Stand beside you. And hold it.
Say a few words. Please say a few words. That why it has been released and all that.
One, sir, right here.
Yeah, look.
It's stuck to it. You paste it together. This also needs to be cut like this.
Didn't have to be done.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
All four sides. All four sides.
Extra care they have taken. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Goel sir, please come.
Thank you.
There is a special number which has been brought out keeping her completion of 100 years on 15th November.
Yes. Stop pulling.
Really quite a scene. You all notice Mr. Sundaram has difficulty in hearing. So he might not have heard what I said very well. So he came to Manju and asked what was
Pradipbhai said.
He said. And Manju spoke very softly. I couldn't even hear. Sundaram heard. That's the tricky of it. And I'm so very happy that after this marvelous speech Radhaji that Sundaram could put out this special number, release this special number of the Indian theosophists. I'm sure you should all treasure this because this is something that you would love to cherish for years and years together. Krishnaji, can you say something?
Yeah. It's a great occasion where we are releasing this special number. After hearing Manju speaking about Radhaji, in fact I am getting choked. I am not able to speak that well. But I'll tell you a couple of incidents to say, not to take away anything which she has said. Such a beautiful, it was like a song. She's a musician, it's more like a song than a speech, is what I told her when she spoke at Hyderabad. And this photograph perhaps is taken by a Hyderabad watcher, if I remember right. Vacha is the person who took the photograph and gave it to her. This is the photograph. So we have the Hyderabadi contribution. I told Vivaji in the morning or yesterday, there was a family which hosted Radhaji when she came to preside at the conference at Hyderabad. They took her home because that was a comfortable place to live. And normally we South Indians believe in giving extra and what the other person can eat. Atithi Devo is alright, but Atithi can take 3 idlis. We will request them, this one more certain ghee, we'll say. So she had completed 2 idlis, and the gentleman who was the host said, "Madam, one more with ghee. It will go softly." She looked at him like this. She did this. She did this. He was again saying, "One more only, ma'am." She was firm and said, "I can't eat for no pleasure." This is not it. And another occasion, perhaps Sanjay was around there at the point of time. They performed the ritual mystic star, maybe she was 88 at the point of time. Nobody carried books through the entire ritual. Nobody carried. John Algeo was love. Madam was the power. No books were carried. The entire thing she read off from memory. 88 or 89 she was at that. 88 maybe she was. But what memory? You don't have to really strain. If you study well, it will stay there, she said. I'll tell you, there's one madam by name Mangalam Muthuswamy. She's a mason. She went and asked her, "Mommy, I've read but I'm scared. If you have studied, you're not scared. Both don't go together." This is, and she walked away. That's fact. The Mangalam is asked, "Why such a statement?" He said, "Yes, if you have studied quite well, why is there a fear?" That's another occasion. Third occasion I think I have shared while talking in the camp also, I have told a lot of information. Once we went to Hospate and she came to be the chief guest of the Radhaji Hospital Federation conference. And she was to deliver the presidential address at evening. But then the local launch people had invited a Swami, some person who was wearing the kasha. And that one went on talking. She came in time to start her lecture, but that was not ending. So she just got up, said namaste and went back to her work. And all of us were feeling terrible because the local launch people are not able to realize the importance of calling from India, Madam Radhaji, asking her to preside. The presidential address is not there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's talking. Maybe there is something which all of us should listen, but I have some other work. He said, "This is not way." So this is how she used to be so nice, considerate, compassionate. And I tell you, grammatically here sitting, there will be no parenthesis when she is talking. If you see the books, there is a dash, there are certain sentences, certain words, and then another dash. That particular thing is called parenthesis. While she talked or Sri Ram talked, no paralysis. It will be a continuous flow. 2011 or 2010 convention, she was asked by the doctors not to speak, not to speak. I will not speak. She went out to the platform, she sat there, the only chair was there. She started delivering talk. And that was the time I said, she started with the Dakshinamurti Stotra, Chitram Gurabodha, after the beginning. It's there in the theology somewhere. I asked her, I went close to her and said, "Ma'am, you were not supposed to talk." "I didn't talk," she said. Like Manjuji said, looking into the eyes, I could see something. I also, when I heard that I didn't talk, I knew who talked. That is Radhaji. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be with Manjuji and Sundaramji, and thanks Mr. Guru for giving me an opportunity for all this I could contribute during this year at Varanasi. Thank you so much.
Brother Krishnaji, first of all thanks on behalf of the Indian section to you for having conducted this. I could not be here at the time of the closing in the afternoon because of such guests that have come. But I really appreciate it. And I also saw how you were working late at night in the front office room to prepare for your lecture. So just as Radhaji had said, if you are prepared for it, things will go well. And that's why everything went so very well. You know, this guilty incident that Krishnaji mentioned reminded me of something equally interesting. Radhaji was my home for a week in solitude, not to be told to anybody, and she just rest there. And he always wanted to prepare different dishes for her. So one afternoon she prepared a cheese pizza, which is what I love very much. So Radhaji accepted that. She said, "I will only eat one small piece." So out of the one full pizza, 4 pieces were made. She took one piece and she had it. And I asked her, "Radhaji, do you like it?" She said, "Yes." So I offered her another, very, very carefully, and she accepted it. So I was very happy. So once she was through with that, I said, the tradition in Gujarat is to always offer more food. So let me try. And I offered her the third piece. Again, being really scared that she would say, "No," or will say something that, you can't decide what to eat. But she took that also, because she had liked it. So then I just sat down. When she was through with the third one, I did not say anything. She herself took the fourth one. So, these are memorable incidents, and we can all keep on speaking about Radhaji. One last thing I remember about Mr. Sundaram, and you will be seeing her photograph. Well, when you get this number, Radhaji smiling. That's the photograph we have even at the back here. At the time that Mr. Sundaram announced about my taking over as the General Secretary way back in 2017 at the Himalayan Study Center in Bhubaneswar, after introducing me and telling me all this, and then as he was leaving, he looked at Radhaji's photograph and he said, "She's smiling at what I have just done." Now, that could be taken in different ways. That could be probably taken in a way that, "No, what have you done? This guy is going to really create a lot of trouble there." But I still remember that, and the fondness and with the kind of confidence both Sundaramji and Manjuji had put me into this position. I will always remember that, and so I thought that this was an appropriate time for me to share that with you all. I thank you, Manju again, and Sundaram for doing this wonderful work and putting this together. Thank you all very much.